In this short video, I'm going to show you how to override your pricing formula on an individual item in Skugrid. This is useful if by default you're using one pricing formula, let's just say 12% profit margin or 10% profit margin, and you want to either increase or decrease that profit margin for one particular item. All you'll do is locate your item in Skugrid. The quickest way to do that is to paste in the item number or ASIN into the search. It will pull up the item. All you'll do is scroll over to the right, click Edit. You're going to scroll down to the very bottom section. This is what I like to call the Reprice Item section. Then you're going to click Override Default Selling Formula. Okay, and then click Use Wizard. Here it will give you a wizard for you to enter values, and when you enter those values in, it will start creating a formula for you. So let's assume I wanted 8% tax, and let's say my default was a 10% profit margin, and I want to go down to a 5% profit margin. So I would just type 5 here. Your fixed margin is any additional money you want in addition to the profit margin percentage. It's an optional field. You don't have to fill that in. Your minimum margin is going to be the least amount of money that you're willing to accept for this item. So let's just say $3 is the least that I want to get for this item. Your PayPal fees are usually 2.9%. PayPal transaction fee per item is 30 cents. And then your eBay fees will either be 9 or 10%, depending on if you have a store or not. 9 for a store, 10 if you do not have a store. And if you're using Amazon, then your fees would be 15%, and you wouldn't have any PayPal or PayPal transaction fee or PayPal percentage fee. You wouldn't have those fees. You would just have a 15% for Amazon. So that's the difference there with that. Okay. Include suppliers' shipping in the calculation. Select yes if you would like to include their shipping in your pricing, or no if you do not. Okay, and then you click Estimate Final Price. Let's say this item was $100. With this current formula, as you can see, it started building a formula here for me. With this current formula, if I click OK, it would price my item at about $129. Also note that if you are selecting to include supplier shipping, that shipping is not known with this little calculator here. This little estimator is only going off of what you put into the box. So if you put $100 here, that's all it's going off of. Skugrid will later add the shipping if it's known once it reprices your item. So you can just click OK to get out of this box, and then update item. That will save the formula in with this item. The other way to work with formulas is with a dollar amount instead of percentages. So in that case, the same would apply. You would click this to override selling formula, use the wizard. You would enter in these values. What you choose to use in these boxes is totally up to you. This is just for demonstration purposes. But instead of a margin percentage, you would enter a fixed margin. So let's say, okay, on this item, I know it's an expensive item, and I want to mark it up to have a $20 profit. Well, I can enter $20 here instead of working with percentages. I would still leave my tax here if I wanted to do that. The minimum margin, I would also set to be the same with the fixed margin. Because if I'm saying I want $20, then of course the least that I'm willing to accept for this item is $20. And then you enter in your fees, and everything else is fine. If your item was $100, then my item would be marked up to about $145. That's pretty much it. The other thing to mention here, if you already have a formula saved into your item, you won't see those values here. So what I like to do is once I make these changes, like let's just say, okay, I want a $20 profit on the item. Just for my future reference, I like to put $20 here. So I know what I last did to this item. That way, if I decide at a later point to move up or down in my profit, I can do that. All I'll do is just come in here and make an adjustment. But at least I know where I was starting from. And that concludes this video. That's how you edit an individual item and give that one item its own formula. Another thing to note, when you override formulas, if you had any additional formulas on your eBay US or eBay UK tab, or your Amazon US or Amazon UK tab, if you have any additional formulas that fire up depending on supplier, those will not apply to items that you have overridden. So that's something important to note. The other thing, I know someone had recently asked me a question about if I want to include the supplier's shipping, because Skugrid can't see it. There are some suppliers where Skugrid cannot see the supplier's shipping because it's not calculated until checkout or something like that. So in that case, you would want to include supplier shipping and calculations and turn that to no. And let's just say on the same item, I still want my $20 profit, but let's say that this supplier had a $40 shipping charge. Well, instead of a fixed margin of 20, I would add the profit that I want plus the amount that I need to cover the shipping, which would be $40. So I would change my fixed margin to 60 and change the minimum margin to 60. So this $100 item, you would see it would be marked up to about 191. And that is pretty much it about editing the pricing on an individual item. Hope this is helpful. Thank you.